Meet the superstitions of sport. When sports science, talent and hard work isn't enough to get you across the line, a little sequential repetition is drawn upon to give an athlete a supernatural competitive edge. Whether it be a certain way to walk, number to wear, or beard to bear, a short circuit in sports psychology means anything is done to achieve the ultimate dream. Superstitions perhaps pollute sports minds, but they can never outsmart the truth. The sports industry can credit the entertainment industry for many things. Red carpets, pestering paparazzi, endless autograph signings.
Ladies and gentlemen, Taylor Swift.
And thanks to Taylor Swift, it seems, jinxes. In July 2015, the American singer-songwriter toured the motherland, making a stop at Nationals Park in Washington. Their Major League Baseball team, creatively called the Nationals, was 48-39 before her arrival, 2 games atop the NL East. Their first game after her departure, however, was suspended because of a lighting malfunction. Pitcher Max Scherzer tweeted, "Well, who was the last one to use Nationals Park last? Taylor Swift. I blame her for the power outs tonight. We now have #BadBlood." The team went 35-40 post-Swift and missed the playoffs. Coincidence, maybe? Or maybe not, as her trail of destruction didn't end there. August 29th, and Swift performed in San Diego. The Padres went from a .481 winning percentage before her concert to a .361 after it. September 9th. The pre-Swift Houston Astros were 2 games up in the AL West before losing their lead after she left the Astrodome. And October 3rd. Swift hit the stage at Rogers Centre in Toronto as the Blue Jays sported the best record in the AL and held home field advantage in the playoffs. Post-Swift, they were eliminated from the playoffs altogether.
How would you like for the U.S. women's soccer team to take a bow?
However, it seems the US women's soccer team didn't accuse any poor run of form. After an invite to join her on stage at a concert following their World Cup win, they went undefeated in Olympic qualifying. Coming up, lucky numbers and smelly socks. Just like the team they race for, in motor racing, numbers are part of the driver's identity. The legendary Valentino Rossi grew up with a passion for speed and an incredible respect for his father, Graziano, who was a pro Grand Prix motorcycle racer himself.
You were just over 2 years old when you started coming with me to the box to stress my fellow riders. Uncini, Reggiani, Incinelli, asking for their autographs, their helmets. They could not send you away because you were my son. But they really could not handle you.
Rossi eventually took on his father's number 46 and has since turned into arguably the greatest motorcycle racer of all time. In NASCAR, the Intimidator, Dale Earnhardt, drove to 76 wins, including the 1998 Daytona 500, making his number 3 famous on the circuit.
He was the man. Everybody followed what Earnhardt did.
He may have died in a fatal crash on the last lap of the 2001 Daytona 500, but he'll forever be known as the polarizing number 3 of NASCAR.
He was the guy you love to hate.
Why is that?
Because he was winning all the time.
He was a real racer, and everything he had done created such a following from the fans, so it's a big loss.
Even big screen racers are superstitious about their numbers, with Herbie the Love Bug donning the number 53 in honor of Los Angeles Dodgers retired baseball pitching star Don Drysdale.
Herbie's kind of a diva, but he's a huge talent, so he was kind of temperamental. If you got him the right oil, it was all right.
Numbers are a big deal in the world of Formula One, and why wouldn't they be, when you consider there's a number in the name of the single-seat auto racing class? And with changes in regulations in 2014, allowing drivers to choose their own number rather than an allocated number based on their final ranking the year prior, superstitions were both drawn upon and thrown entirely out of the cockpit. An F1 driver needs to race with bravado and brain power, something that seems to come with age. However, many of the men on circuit have pinched their numbers from their karting days. For veteran race car driver Spain's Fernando Alonso, his number 14 was chosen in honor of a kart race he won as a 14-year-old on the 14th of July in 1996. It's now a permanent part of the Alonso brand, one that apparently doesn't come without its faults.
I always had a good relationship with Fernando Alonso. The problem is that he always wants the team devoted to him only. Everything must be done only for him.
That said, you can't argue with a two-time F1 champion, but perhaps you could argue with his choice of number. Since taking on the number 14, he recorded the worst ranking of his entire Formula One career, 17th in 2015. Considering he won 4 World Championship titles in 9 years in the highest class of car racing, you would be forgiven if you thought Sebastian Vettel had chosen the number 1. But instead, the smiley but gritty West German went for the number 5, or the same number he raced with when he won his first title. Both Nigel Mansell and German Uber driver Michael Schumacher won world titles with the number 5 as well. Vettel isn't the only driver to have made his choice with an eye on his past. Jenson Button, the last world champion before 4 years of Vettel and his Red Bull supremacy, opted for the same 22 that adorned his title-winning 2009 Braun GP car. Mercedes German hopeful Nico Rosberg took his wife and dad's lucky number 6, or the same number with which Finnish father Keke won his 1982 championship at Williams. And Pastor Maldonado, or the guy known in race car circles as Crash Tour, thanks to his incredible ability to cause accidents with great regularity, attempted to change his luck and opt for the unlucky number 13. Surprise! Maldonado found himself without an F1 team in 2016 after his deal with Renault collapsed. And then there's Felipe Massa, who chose the number 19 because he claimed it always brought him luck. That said, it's not the only superstition Massa relies on to gain some sort of competitive edge. Felipe Massa has had a very respectable Formula One career, sprinkled with a couple of bouts of bad luck. In 2008, Massa finished 1 point behind title winner Lewis Hamilton after winning his home race, only to have Hamilton finish 5th, or exactly where he needed to be to pass Massa in the standings. The following year, Massa was struck by a suspension spring that had fallen from Rubens Barrichello's brawn and ripped through Massa's helmet. The injury was life-threatening.
The doctor that came from Brazil said that he reacted quite well when he saw the doctor. He reacted quite well when he saw his father. And the improvements since yesterday are quite good.
Massa pulled through and has since carried on as a car racer, thanks perhaps to the help of his superstitions.
I have many different things. So normally I always go inside the car from the left because I always like to put my right foot first, in the car. I always put the right gloves, the right shoes first, I always pray before the race, I always pray before I sleep, but also before the race, asking protection, not just for me, but for my friends, for the other drivers as well, So, yeah, sometimes some crazy things, sometimes, when I start the weekend and the first, the Saturday, for example, and things is going well, I keep the same underwear. Yeah, we are a little bit crazy sometimes, it doesn't change anything by using this underwear or the other one, but it just gives you, it just makes you relax, so that you have everything that you have yesterday, and yesterday was a good day, and when it's not a good day, you change everything, so it's like that, we are a little bit crazy.
The beard. Once seen as an old world way for explorers to stay warm, in North American sport, the beard has become a symbol that you have gone further than your competitors in the grueling battle to win a league title. However, for all the manliness associated with the growth, the good luck beard was inherited from the gentleman's game of tennis. The man behind the beard was one of the game's most iconic players, Sweden's Björn Borg, who would grow it just before the Wimbledon fortnight. That, along with wearing the same Fila shirt throughout the competition, helped the Iceman win 5 straight Wimbledon titles between 1976 and 1980, and 11 Grand Slam titles overall. The masters of quirk in today's game include Roger Federer, whose obsession with the number 8 sees him serve 8 aces before beginning a match, set up 8 bottles of water courtside, and carry 8 rackets. And of course, Rafael Nadal, who famously fixes his hair and fiddles around with his shorts before each serve, drinks from his water bottles in a certain order, and makes sure his opponent crosses the net on a changeover before he does, just to name a few. But it's worked for him. Nobody has won more French Opens. On the women's side, Serena Williams is a sucker for superstition. One is her serve. She always bounces the ball 5 times before her first serve and twice before her second. The other is her socks. If she's happy with her play during a tournament, she'll never wash or change them. Chances are she's worn very few pairs of socks over the course of her 20-plus year career, when you consider she has a winning percentage of more than 85%. After the break, Superstitions of Champions. The Olympics. The greatest sporting stage on Earth, where its actors are athletes who train for years to attain the ultimate accolade, a gold medal. However, in many cases, hard work isn't the only thing relied upon to achieve the dream. Some call upon the help of superstition. At the Beijing 2008 Olympics, the superstitions were out in full force, which only seemed normal when you consider it was held in a country of many popular beliefs, customs, and superstitions. One of them involves the number 8. The Chinese believe this is a lucky digit because its pronunciation is similar to that of prosperity in their language. Hence, the opening ceremonies to the Games were held on the 8th day of the 8th month in 2008.
Hopefully, this lucky day will bring luck to the opening ceremony. According to the weather forecast, that will be, well, light shower, probably. And outside, the air quality, I think it's good.
But the number 8 wasn't the only form of superstition the Chinese turned to. Taoist monks burned incense, with many traditional statues and paintings thought to bring good luck on display near the Olympic precinct.
There is the hope in people's hearts that Mother Nature can bring good luck and fortune to people.
They all proved to be good omens for the host nation, with China taking home a leading 51 gold medals, becoming the first country other than the US or Russia to lead in medals since Germany at the 1936 edition. But many of the visitors brought charms and pre-performance routines with them to get on the podium, like Puerto Rican runner Carol Rodriguez.
Well, I'm a runner, so I usually wear tall socks. I've been wearing these socks since high school and throughout college, and I usually like to wear, I have to compete in high socks, and I feel like they're lucky.
Sorry, Carol, they're not. She finished 40th in the 200 meters. And then there was the UK's Montel Douglas.
This is the only thing that I like to always wear if I compete, because this is kind of like something that God's always with me and He'll be with me for my race.
Things didn't go bad for Douglas, who made it to the second round of the 100 meters. But God couldn't help her from messing up the baton exchange with teammate Emily Freeman in the 4x100 meter final, where the UK failed to finish. And then there was one athlete who was so special, rather than summon the supernatural for help, it was the supernatural that summoned him. He's considered by many to be the greatest sprinter the Games have ever seen. Jamaica's Usain Bolt has always been able to dominate events wherever he's set his lightning-quick feet on, despite the fact he was never much of a committed athlete as a kid. Bolt eventually learned that hard work pays off, and the proof is in all the medals he's won. In fact, between the 2007 and 2015 World Championships, Bolt won 11 gold and 2 silver medals in the 100, 200 and 4x100 meter events. His Olympic tally from Beijing and London was a clean sweep of 6 gold. But besides all the sweat gone into honing his natural ability, science has drawn its own conclusions as to why he's so good. One is in his steps. Research has shown that an elite sprinter takes in the region of 45 steps to complete 100 meters. But Bolt's stride is so long and powerful, making the most of his 1.95 meter frame, that he completes the distance in an average of 41 steps. He also spends just 0.08 seconds in contact with the ground at the start of each stride, meaning he spends about 60% of the time racing in the air without either foot on the ground. However, there could be a third intangible that puts Bolt above the rest: his hair. It seems Bolt follows a certain superstitious hairstyle regimen that just sort of fell onto his lap.
Surprisingly, I've noticed something over the years. People always ask me if I have any superstitions or anything, but I've noticed that every Olympic year I've always trimmed, but World Championships I've always just had a beard and high hair, so after a while it just became a thing.
For centuries, the world has been littered with curses. There is the curse of the pharaohs, otherwise known as King Tut's curse, where those who disturbed his resting place were punished by unnatural death. The locals have warned that these artifacts come with curses of all kinds. Or maybe not.
I do not actually believe in the curse. I found one tomb at Giza. In my discovery, the tombs of the pyramid builders. It has an inscription say, if you touch my tomb, you'll be eaten by a crocodile, the hippo, and lion. It doesn't mean anything.
In the theatre biz, Shakespeare buffs know all about superstitions, thanks to the curse of the play Macbeth. As a performer, mention the play's name inside a theatre prior to showtime instead of its moniker, The Scottish Play, and it seems you seriously tempt fate.
No, I'm not superstitious. I'm not. Sorry, I'm just not. I can even say the M word. Macbeth. Oh God, what have I done? Oh no, maybe I am. I'm sweating.
She'd better be. Since this faux pas, actress Lucy Briggs-Owen has been relegated to video game work. The sports world is no stranger to the curse, with the oldest one perhaps placed on the Boston Red Sox. Once one of the most successful teams in baseball, things changed when they sold star slugger the Bambino Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees during the 1919 campaign. The Yankees went on to become the most successful franchise in baseball, while the Red Sox went without a World Series title until 2004, or 86 years after their last one. Finally, the curse of the Bambino was reversed. Perhaps the most peculiar curse comes courtesy of men's shaving giant, Gillette. In 2009, Roger Federer, Thierry Henry and Tiger Woods were all associated with the company and gladly promoted their products with their smiling faces. But those smiles disappeared thanks to the 2009 Gillette Curse. First off was Henry, who cowered his smooth-shaven face in shame after his blatant handball led to a France goal in the playoff game against Ireland and subsequent qualification to the 2010 World Cup. The backlash was incessant. Then, their next featured face had this happen to him.
This is a joint statement from Tiger Woods' office and Health Central Hospital. Tiger Woods was in a minor car accident outside his home last night. He was admitted, treated, and released today in good condition. That's it.
No, that wasn't it. To avoid his golf club-wielding wife, Ellen Nordegren, Tiger Woods crashed his car and public image into a tree when it was discovered that he had been unfaithful over and over again. Shortly after that, Roger Federer suffered a shock defeat at the ATP World Tour semi-final to 6th-seeded Russian Nikolai Davydenko. Call it a curse or coincidence, but all three failed to maintain the success they enjoyed before becoming a part of the Gillette fraternity. Still to come, superstitions of the world game. For decades, football has been full of players drawing on traditions and superstitions for supernatural assistance. In the total football days of the Netherlands, the legendary Johan Cruyff's pre-game ritual included slapping his keeper Gert Balls in the gut and spitting his chewing gum into the opposition's half of the field. The only game he didn't? His Ajax lost to AC Milan in the 1969 European Cup final 4-1. At the 1998 World Cup, Laurent Blanc found fortune in kissing keeper Fabien Barthez's shaved noggin before each match. That, along with listening to the Gloria Gaynor song I Will Survive in the dressing room, seemed to have worked, as Le Bleu defeated the favoured Brazilians in the final. In the modern game, some strange ways have come to the surface, like John Terry, who ritually relieved himself in the right-hand urinal of the Chelsea dressing room before every home game kickoff. And then there are the goals of one Welsh midfielder, which suscitate joy in some and death in others. Aaron Ramsey was a revelation at the 2016 European Championships, leading his nation to a semi-final berth, its best showing in any major international football tournament. He's also well known domestically, thanks to his exploits with club side Arsenal, a team he's been with since 2008. However, he's also become the Grim Reaper of football. It all started on May 1st, 2011, when Ramsey scored the lone goal in a 1-0 win against Manchester United. The following day, this announcement was made.
I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda.
Since that fateful day, the curse of Ramsey has been in full effect, as one of Ramsey's goals has been followed by 8 other high-profile deaths. Perhaps the attacking midfielder is better suited on the bench. The sporting world is a peculiar place, because for all the wisdom, for all the science, and for all the data at our disposal, the ominous intangible, the supernatural, is sometimes summoned or suppressed with great effort to get the job done. At the end of the day, if it equates to success for players and fans, then hey, whatever works. And that is the truth.